Hello everybody. I'm George Boretos, co-founder and co-CEO of CubeRM, a vendor of revenue management and optimization software solutions with specialization in tender and pricing management. And you are watching CubeCast, a video series where we discuss everything related to tendering and pricing excellence. And today, for this episode, we have together with us Dominik Schrode, a partner in Pricing Works, a highly specialized consulting firm in B2B pricing, with huge experience in pricing excellence. And in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so, we are going to discuss a lot about digital pricing transformation. So, Dominik, great to have you here today with us. Thanks for joining. And can you give us some details about your company and also about yourself?
Yes. So first of all, thanks a lot, George, for having me, inviting me to this CubeCast. My name is Dominik. I'm based in Munich, Germany. And as you mentioned, I'm co-founder of Pricing Works. So Pricing Works helps customers in the B2B industry on their pricing journey. So we do pricing maturity assessments. So we analyze data, review current pricing processes to identify quick wins and optimize profitability, but also increase revenue. We develop pricing strategies together with our clients along their corporate targets, and we are deep diving a lot into digital pricing transformation. So talking about digital pricing transformation, it could be the selection of pricing tools, it could be the implementation of pricing software, but also the development of AI pricing algorithm. So we're not only having in our team pricing experts or pricing specialists, we're also working together with data scientists.
So talking about digital pricing transformation, obviously pricing is king, we all know that. And it's especially interesting today with all the challenges that we have, inflation, etc., etc. However, since we do know that everything gets digital, is digital pricing transformation just another buzzword, or do you find any real value for the actual end customer?
Yes, so I totally agree. Within the last 5 years or so, there have been plenty of books, scientific articles published about digital pricing. It's one of the hot topics in pricing conferences, such as the European Pricing Platform. It's really one of the hot topics in the pricing community. And the reason for it is that digital pricing covers so many different dimensions. So it could be the use of information technology, such as pricing tools or pricing software. But it's also about digitalizing processes in price management. And for a lot of B2B companies, this is the fundament to set new digital solutions or new business models for the organization. So you're asking me about the value in it. I'm quite convinced that when doing digital pricing transformation right and bring it to a digital era, that this offers a lot of possibilities for clients in order to increase revenue, but also to avoid margin erosion, to also increase, let's say, the efficiency in the pricing teams. And this is also, and it's also to be said, there are a lot of companies where digital pricing transformation is a very important step to secure their future viability, especially at that period of time.
Any examples that you have in mind that you like to share of practical application of digital pricing transformation?
Yes, so maybe we have to take this into context. So when talking to our clients in the B2B industrial manufacturing, the last 2 to 3 years were very challenging because the way of how they did business changed. And there is also a need and urgency to adjust prices based on new circumstances. So as an example, there are a lot of companies who are confronted at the moment with inflationary cost pressure, increasing raw materials, increasing cost for raw materials, shipping costs, energy costs are exploding. Supply chains are still very unpredictable. So this is one of the parts, the circumstances on the one hand. On the other hand, even before the pandemic, a lot of companies moved into the era of digital selling. So meaning clients want to have, and customers want to have more control. They want to have more options how to engage, when and where. They don't want to wait for their orders, their spare parts for a couple of days. So only want to order them in a time window between 8 and 5. So will salesmen not wait a day or even two for special approvals. Also, they want to have fast and easy transactions. So having this both in mind, the expectation of the client on the one side, but also this significant market dynamic on the other side, fast decision making is king. And we still see that a lot of companies have manual processes, but also disconnected systems. And this really slows down sales and open, unfortunately, for sure, the door for more agile competitors. So we see clients who really, with the manual tools and legacy processes, it quite often takes up to 90 days when they do the data manual aggregation, where they need the list price to be approved by management. They need to upload it in massive spreadsheets, load it into the system, final communication via email. They have to consider foreign exchange rates, but also country-specific factors. And this really, really slows down processes. So automate this approach and implement pricing software lead to an immediate price update, immediately when costs change. And yeah, no matter if a pricing manager is on vacation or not, there is an immediate effect, both on profitability, but also on revenue. And yeah, maybe this is an example interesting for our and your audience.
So you talked about the challenges in pricing, inflation, cost of materials rising, logistics and supply capacity issues, and all these things. And definitely digital pricing transformation can help. But can you see or can you identify the most important challenges in implementing digital pricing and transformation?
Yes, good question. There are two challenges that also could be obstacles. One is data, the other one is training. So first of all, talking about training, pricing software will never replace, let's say, the skill set, the comprehensive capabilities of a pricing manager. Technology helps to derive the pricing strategy, but there still needs to be the pricing manager really aligning that with the corporate strategy. So we always say that training is really the secret sauce in the success of pricing and pricing strategy and pricing transformation. And it's very important that pricing managers and also sales managers are aware that this pricing software will not replace their jobs or their positions. It will help them to make the right decisions faster. This is one of the challenges, the lack of training. The other challenge is the data. And this needs to be split in data quality and data gathering. So in data quality, we see sometimes that bad data is even more worth and problematic than having no data, because bad data leads to misleading outputs, leads to wrong decision making. You even maybe focus on the wrong clients. So improving data quality and have your data ready is something fundamental before doing the digital pricing transformation. And otherwise it's a challenge and obstacle, but it's also the data gathering. So we know pricing requires the leveraging of data from various sources, sales data, transaction data, product cost information, and this all needs to be aggregated into one single source, the source of truth. And sometimes companies, or often companies, underestimate the importance of it. So these are challenges and obstacles that I see when it comes to digital pricing and digital price transformation.
So the foundation you are saying is gathering pricing data, because you need to have something in order to base your decisions. But how do you do that? Can you share a couple of examples how you can gather information from online sources or something similar?
Yes, I can share with you an example from one of our clients' project. We have a client who applies rounding rules based on a sequence of pricing rules. So they define, let's say, a basket with articles in it, and for this article basket, competitor prices are a relevant factor. So in the past, they struggled a lot to obtain those competitor information. They got some insights from salesmen. They have some old catalogs. They have some price lists. So they got data, but when they received it, it was just fragmentary or sometimes outdated. In the meanwhile, there are services who offer professional data crawling and data crawling services, or offering pricing monitoring tools that really deliver the pricing insights of the focus competitor if you apply a competitor-based pricing strategy. So this is one of the things. Also, let's say this is a topic that we talked a lot in the future, and I know that you, George, and also CubeIM are very experienced with that one, because you're doing something very similar, obtaining data with latest technology for the tendering, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's similar. I mean, we are doing that, or other people are doing that for the private sector. In public procurement, this is our specialization. For tenders, there are official public portals where tender information is officially published, so you can get a lot of information there. Some of this information have to do with the tenders themselves, but also some of the information is related to pricing information, to budget, possibly discounts, awardee values, sometimes pricing for products that were awarded to a specific company. It depends a lot per country and per source. Sometimes you have to crawl different sources even for the same country. But you do have a lot of information out there that we can capture and fetch it within our system regarding the tenders and also the price information or related information to pricing. And also something that we do, and perhaps this can be applied to the private sector as well, but we have applied it to the public sector, is NLP, natural language processing, because it's not just to identify a tender, price information, etc., but also to identify if it is a relevant tender. So you need to search for keywords, and this keyword search needs to be expanded and broader for the keywords in translated terms, because all the tenders are published in local languages, plus you have alternative terms, sometimes even misspelled terms, and so on and so forth. So this is what we do. Actually, we crawl this information into one system and we tag it for relevance based on the keyword search using NLP. I would say it's similar or complementary for the customer. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But anyway, I wanted to ask you something on top of that, because yes, of course, you need to gather all the necessary information in one place. But then the question is, what to do with that? How do you process the information? Because in the end, it's all about creating valuable insights and making some decisions based on that. So what's your take and your experience of that, Dominik?
Yes, exactly. So what you mentioned, George, for sure really helps companies, to improve their sales, filling up their sales pipeline. If they know exactly where there is a tender, they have everything ready that they need, and empower their sales force, their salesmen, to come up with a proper offer, and really then doing successful sales. This is one thing, but for sure gathering all this information is also for the pricing strategy and the pricing rules super insightful and significant. And it really could help, doing a proper pricing differentiation. What are the clients that are attractive for me? Where are my clients with a high profitability? What are the industries that are very promising? So with all that information that I can obtain from the market, it really, and I combine this in, let's say, a pricing system, a pricing tool, a pricing management software, I have everything ready, state of the art, to make fast decisions, but also, drive the sales with focus on profitable growth. Who are my profitable customers? Do I want to grow in revenue or in margin? And this data, this real-time data, which is not outdated, which I get for the market, very well structured and defined, really could help me as a company to increase not only my pipeline and doing the sales properly, but also generating a margin and optimizing revenue. So this might be maybe one of the things that we need to know and need to mention when talking about data, gathering data in an automated way and utilizing and leverage it.
Okay, that's great. So we reached the end of this CubeCast, and Dominik, thanks for joining. I don't know if you have any last comments for our audience, any piece of advice or direction?
We talked about a couple of complex things, and I only can say that please don't get overwhelmed by the complexity of digital pricing, digital price transformation, because it's like climbing a mountain. You have to do it step by step, and sometimes you need experienced guide on your side. So I think at the moment there is a lot of good information about digital pricing, also dynamic pricing. We shortly touched that field as well. In the web, on your website, on our website, some good best practices. So there's a lot of potential, and feel free to reach out in case you're interested in any specific case or you would like to have a follow-up session on this.
So again, Dominik, thanks for joining us today and for sharing all these valuable insights, and everyone else. Thank you for watching today's episode of CubeCast. And don't forget, if you want to learn more about digital pricing transformation or for tender and pricing excellence, and if you want to be the first to know all these new innovative insights, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn and other social media. And again, thank you all for watching today's episode, and Dominik for joining us today. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Damn.